The early 2000s, a time when the baseball world was completely dominated by dynamic duos. We had sluggers galore, like the Mile High's Hargo and Tulo combo, Cincy's right side infield tandem in Joey Votto and Brandon Phillips, and of course the legendary power duo of Albert Pujols and Matt Holliday. But
wait a minute!
There's one duo that often gets overlooked, a pair that caused mayhem in Milwaukee before going their separate ways and ultimately having very different career paths. Braun and Prince Fielder. After the two split up, brighter days were definitely not ahead, and both players experienced turbulent, depressing declines in their career, but we're not going to focus on that today. Instead, we're going to take a quick trip down memory lane to revisit the glorious peak days of this iconic duo. We're going to take a look at exactly how productive they were over this 5-year period, and finally their massive impact on Milwaukee baseball. Welcome back to another Brew City Baseball production. If you're new here, take a second to hit that like and subscribe button for a new video every week. If you've been here before and you're already subscribed, you're the best. I appreciate you. Now let's get right into it. So this duo's half-decade dynasty officially began in 2007 when Ryan Braun was called up in late May from the minor leagues. He started the year hitting .354 with 10 home runs in AAA with the Nashville Sounds before earning this promotion. Meanwhile, Prince Fielder was coming off a pretty impressive rookie campaign of his own, one in which he led all rookies in home runs for the season with 28 big flies, allowing him to finish 7th in the National League Rookie of the Year voting. This would begin the era of massive offensive production in Milwaukee as the pair would immediately get to work in 2007. Maybe the only fault of the two would be Braun's National League leading 26 errors at third base, but there was just no way that the Brewers were taking his bat out of the lineup. At the plate, these two were really incredible. Fielder would really make his mark this season, as he would go on to slash .288, .395, .618 with 119 RBIs, and like Giannis after the 2021 NBA Finals, he put up a 50-piece home run season.
50 exactly.
Okay.
Not 51, not 49. Chicken minis, yes. 50.
This impressive offensive showing landed him the start at first base for the 2007 National League All-Star Game over sluggers like Derek Lee and the formerly mentioned Pujols, which honestly isn't surprising. Pretty much any list that you're going to find Fielder on during this time period, Pujols is also going to be on too. He was just so good on his time with the Cardinals, making you wonder if he's actually a human.
That's what they call you, right? A machine? I'm not a machine.
Not a machine, the machine, right?
Meanwhile, Ryan Braun would also show up his rookie year. Despite being an absolute liability in the field, he led the league in slugging, slashing .324, .370, .634 for an OPS plus over 150. Brawny would just edge out Troy Tulowitzki for Rookie of the Year, even with a surprisingly stark WAR differential between the two, with Tulo having the 6.8 to 2.0 WAR advantage. Maybe it was the 10 extra home runs, but Braun's atrocious defense certainly didn't help. Either way, the 2007 season was a massive success for the Brewers. While they'd finished 2 games back of the Chicago Cubs in the NL Central, a winning season, a Rookie of the Year award winner, along with a 50 home run season and a top 3 MVP finish, there was finally some hope of snapping Milwaukee's 26-year playoff drought. And that's exactly what would happen in 2008, which was a pretty magical season on its own. Even with the 1-2 punch of Braun and Fielder, it's likely that they don't make it to October baseball without the ginormous shoulders and the golden arm of these legendary performances that CC Sabathia put up with the crew, which you can hear more about if you watch the video that I made about his time that he spent here in Milwaukee. But on the offensive side of the ball, Braun and Fielder clearly carried the offense in 2008. While it wouldn't be either of their best seasons, they still combined to put up 71 home runs between the duo, with Fielder contributing 34 of those long balls for an OPS plus of 130. Braun would actually have an identical 130 OPS plus as well, but his 37 homers and 106 RBIs would garner a little bit more attention than Fielder's numbers, leading to his first All-Star appearance, a Silver Slugger award, and like Fielder the year earlier, a top 3 MVP vote finish. If Milwaukee wasn't already completely in love with Ryan Braun, and trust me, they were, pretty much every girl in the state of Wisconsin had a crush on this guy by this point.
Hey, you look a lot like baseball all-star Ryan Braun.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Come September 28th, in the heat of a playoff push, and Braun would deliver one of the most unforgettable moments against the Pittsburgh Pirates. For once, things seemingly started going the Brewers' way, finally leading to a trip back to October. The big thing this year was that in their sophomore and junior seasons, with a little help from CC, Braun and Fielder had just led the Brew Crew back to the playoffs for the first time in nearly 3 decades. It was truly the beginning of a new era. Even with all that excitement still lingering in the air coming into 2009, this season wouldn't be anything special. The team lost a lot of key players, most notably in the starting rotation, losing both CC and ace Ben Sheets in free agency. A core childhood memory of mine though, Fielder would absolutely show out at the 2009 Home Run Derby. With his partner in crime right there with him, Fielder took center stage over other sluggers like Albert Pujols, who was competing at his home ballpark, and the rival who just knocked them out of the playoffs a year earlier, Ryan Howard. Fielder would go on to smash one ball an estimated 503 feet as he would go on to defeat Nelson Cruz in the finals 6-5 to take home the Home Run Derby championship. Fielder's offensive slugfest was certainly a highlight of 2009. He'd play in all 162 games this season and lead the league with 141 ribbies, surpassing his father's single-season RBI record as he would go on to post a career-high OPS and OPS Plus for the season. I mean, just look at how much fun this crew was having, giving us an all-time home run celebration with this walk-off shot against the Giants. Brawny would also go on to lead the league in hits this year with 203 as he would put up his 3rd consecutive 30 home run season since entering the league with an exceptional 146 OPS Plus. Even with this consistent offensive production from the middle of the order, the team just simply wasn't able to overcome their loss in starting pitching depth and ended the year with an 80-82 losing record. 2010 would be an even more depressing season for the team, falling to an 8-game below 500 losing record at 77-85. But I'm pretty sure by this point you could have guessed it, Braun and Fielder continued to mash at the plate. Albeit a pretty average season for this stretch, Fielder finished the year with a 135 OPS Plus, barely hitting the 30 home run mark and actually missing 100 RBIs this season, but he would lead the league in walks, however. Similarly, Braun's OPS Plus would be 4 points lower at 131 for the season, as he would fail to hit the 30 home run mark for the first time in his career with only 25. While this certainly wasn't the season that anybody was hoping for, with Fielder's free agency looming on the horizon, 2011 was poised to be the end of the era one way or another. Spoiler alert, can you really give a spoiler alert for something that happened over 10 years ago? I don't know. But 2011 was Fielder's last season in Milwaukee. He would not get the bag to stay around. But he would once again suit up for all 162 games. Prince incredibly only missed 8 games in this 5-year span beginning in 2007, being the absolute definition of a gamer, never wanting a day off. Fielder would come close to the 40 home run mark for this season and push across 120 runs for the team, slashing 299, 415, 566, but it would lead to a 164 OPS Plus, the second highest of his career. His teammate really stole the spotlight this season, as Braun would lead the league in slugging and OPS, putting up 33 homers and 111 RBIs, as he would top Matt Kemp and Prince Fielder for the 2011 MVP award. The Brewers would ride Braun and Fielder to a franchise-best 96-66 record to win their first NL Central championship. Although they'd win their first playoff series since 1982 against the Arizona Diamondbacks, sadly, their defeat to the eventual World Series winning St. Louis Cardinals would spell the end of the Braun-Fielder era in Milwaukee. Following the 2011 season, Prince would sign with his hometown club, the Detroit Tigers, for a $214 million bag. It actually wouldn't be until another outfielder's MVP season that the Brewers would make it back to the playoffs in 2018, really emphasizing the impact that holding down the middle part of the order for 5 years had on a team that struggled to make it to the playoffs. The Braun-Fielder era in Milwaukee baseball was truly an iconic and exhilarating time. These two homegrown talents took over the game and left a lasting impact for years to come. During this 5-year stretch, you'll be hard-pressed to find another duo that was as productive. Well, except for Pujols and Holiday. I mean, Pujols was practically superhuman in the early 2000s, so there's nothing you can really do about that one. From 2007 to 2011, Braun hit an impressive 161 home runs and maintained a fantastic slash line of 312, 371, 563. He also drove in 531 runners and showcased his speed by stealing 96 bags. Braun's incredible early career performance earned him a well-deserved contract extension with the Brewers, keeping him with the club through the 2020 season. On the other hand, Fielder might not have secured a big payday from the Brewers, but his numbers were equally impressive. From 2007 to 2011, he played in an average of 160 games per season and smashed 200 home runs during that period. He drove in 565 runs and boasted a slash line of 285, 399, 553. The dynamic duo of Braun and Fielder clearly stood out from the rest of the league by Fielder's 151 OPS plus and Braun's solid 145. They consistently outperformed their peers at the plate. Not only did they put up numbers at the plate, but they also achieved quite a few accolades during this time period. Together, they earned a remarkable 7 All-Star appearances, 6 Silver Slugger awards, and placed in the top 5 for MVP voting 5 different times, leading to Braun taking home the coveted MVP title in 2011, adding to his collection of achievements, which also includes the Rookie of the Year award. After 2011, both players' careers took very different turns, but that's a story for another day. Either way, Prince Fielder and Ryan Braun will forever be cherished by Milwaukee Brewers fans for the incredible memories that they helped create. Despite the unfortunate way that their careers would unfold, they still symbolize an exhilarating era in Milwaukee baseball history, one that fans certainly won't forget anytime soon. If you haven't yet, please take a second to smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss a video. It really goes a long way in helping me grow the channel. Also, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite Braun-Fielder era moment was. How do you think they compared to other duos from their time? Do you think Milwaukee made a mistake with which one they decided to keep around? Share your thoughts with me down in the comments below. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time, baseball fans.